It's been a while. This is like almost 2 weeks, right? Or like roughly 2 weeks since we recorded anything.
Last time we recorded was the wing challenge, so
Yeah, that was the Tuesday before we left.
11 days.
Yeah, it's like a week and a half. You guys have no idea. Everything's been on schedule for you, but yeah, it's been a little while. Um, so I mean, I guess we would be remiss if we didn't cover uh the guys' weekend trip, which I would say, all things considered, it was probably the most tame it's ever been. Would you agree?
Yeah, my big takeaway was that I don't have the gas anymore.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have it.
A lot of day sleeps, a lot of can't get out of bed till like 10 o'clock.
Well, the funny thing is because what I used to do was I'd be up until 5, 6, 3:30 at the earliest,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
But night one, I was on the couch at like 10:45, and I felt awful,
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
So I just went to bed.
Yeah.
That allowed me to get up at like 8:30.
Yeah.
And then the second night, after the whole John Wick fiasco, trying to get that to play,
Yeah.
I fell asleep during it.
Yeah.
And then the third day, I fell asleep on the couch till about, I don't know what time I fell asleep, but I woke back up at 8:30. And then when you fall asleep like that, like kind of that late, it's hard
Yeah.
to put the fucking pedal to the metal again. You kind of can't do it.
Right. Right.
So I'm fucking old. I fucking suck. I didn't drink one Bud Light all weekend.
No, there may have only been like 3 Bud Lights drank all weekend.
No, I think there was more than that because I
Oh
think
yeah,
Vinny,
because it was the night that Vinny and Finn were never went to bed, which I was obviously going to cover.
but yeah, I did not have one
Yeah, I didn't have one either.
because usually the way it goes, I drink too many on Thursday, Friday, and then I can't possibly drink any more of them on Saturday.
Right.
But not the case this year.
Yeah,
Not
this
the
year I
case.
didn't have one Bud Light. We left there and had to take like a 30 and
2:30.
a half, maybe. There was 130 that wasn't even touched. The seat, like the cardboard wasn't even cracked.
I don't even think the other one was. I don't know how much was even in the other one.
Yeah. And then on top of that, Vinny had his cooler full.
Well, that's because that's what I mean. I think we brought a few. There were a few 30s, but I think two of them went borderline untouched.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're big seltzer guys now. Or like alternative beers. Like Bill had those Konas.
Yeah.
He also had a 12 of Pacifico cans that never got cracked.
Yeah, I think we drank all the seltzers and canned mixed drinks. Those didn't last.
Yeah. Yeah, those were gone.
But yeah, I mean, just old man. I'm old.
Yeah. I mean, so I think what saved me definitely was golf on Thursday, Friday. Because that's like, 4+ hours of the day where you're not drinking. And
Yeah,
that,
we played 4 and 4:15.
yeah. So you could do a lot of damage in those 4 hours of day drinking, which will set you up for a really fucked up evening. So I think golf is what saved me. And well, on the first night too, I purposely like didn't really get wild because I knew we were golfing on Friday. So I was like, what's the point? Like, why would I get wicked fucked up on Thursday and not be able to golf on Friday? That's dumb. As it was, I struggled out of the gate anyway. But yeah, then Friday night was the John Wick thing. It took us like a
Oh,
half hour just to get fucking John Wick on the TV. But we did it. And then by the time the second one was over, the other guys had just come back from the bar, and then I was going to bed. That was
I
probably
didn't
like
even
1:30.
I didn't even make it to the I didn't even make it past I'm trying to think in my head because I haven't seen the first one in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I probably made it a quarter of the way through the first one.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because then the next day Jones was like, "Oh, did you watch the second one?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, you were there for it. Like you were
In
awake.
body.
You were awake, but you weren't really awake for it." And he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it." And then Saturday we really didn't do much. We just kind of hung out, drank a little bit, watched college football, baseball. We like finally played some games on Saturday, but like it wasn't wild. So it was very tame this year. However, and this is the big however, as we joke every year about someone dying, I would say, despite this being the most tame it's ever been, it was probably the closest we've ever come to having someone to like having to call the cops or like having a legitimate problem.
Yeah,
Um,
arrest, a hospitalization, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it was like on one end, it was we had probably the tamest, but on and for one particular moment, it was probably the worst it's ever been. So I don't even remember. Was that the first night? Yeah, it
You
was.
know,
So it was Thursday night,
technically it was Friday morning.
Friday
And I'm not
morning.
and when I say technically, I'm not like, oh well, the clock struck midnight and then it happened. No, this happened at 7.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like so Thursday night, we all went to bed
Yeah.
because we were golfing the next day. So Finn and Vinny took it upon themselves. I think Jones stayed up with them too. So
Yeah.
Finn,
So
Vinny, and Jones.
I wake up at 5:20 every morning during the week. So I kind of like woke up and rolled over and I'm like, fuck. And I'm thinking in my head, I go, I bet it's 5:20. So I look at my phone, it's 5:18.
Yeah.
And then I listen and I hear the three of them
Yeah.
still awake outside.
So come to find out, Jones went to bed at 6 a.m. Vinny and Finn never went to bed because I also woke up at 6:30. And I heard them like rustling around outside, whatever. So I got up to take a piss. I went back to bed and I was like, I'm not doing this. This is way too early. It's 6:30. Like they and I know at that point they haven't slept yet and they're still drinking. So I go back and I lay in bed. And then like right around 7 o'clock, I hear the slider door close. And I'm like, all right, I'll go out and sit in the living room. Like if they're gonna, you know what I mean? Like I gotta distance myself here. Like if they're gonna be hanging out on the deck and like in the backyard, I'll sit in the living room quietly because it's 7 a.m. and I'm sick of staring at my phone. So I go out and they're not there. They're like nowhere to be found. And I'm like, maybe they're like in the around somewhere. Maybe they're in the basement. Like, did they finally go to bed in the basement? So I like stick my head down there and they're not there, but I see you there. And I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? So I text both of them. I text Vinny and Finn. No response from either of them. So I'm like, I don't know. They probably fucking. So then I start to be like, get a little mad because I think they probably, because all their cars are still there. And I'm like, fuck, I missed it because I think they Ubered to go get breakfast. And I'm like, God damn it, I missed breakfast. Um, so I'm like, all right, whatever. So I sit there and I turn the TV on and I start watching a movie or TV. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm sitting there and time rolls by and you got up at what, like 8,
Probably
8:30,
8:30.
8:30.
Right.
So you come upstairs and I tell you, hey man, I have no idea where Vinny and Finn are. They never went to sleep last night and they're gone. I texted both of them. They're not responding. We're like, yeah, whatever. Like it's no big deal. It's fine. About a half hour later, right around 9 a.m., the slider door opens and it slams and it's Vinny and he is soaked because it's even though it's morning, it was fucking hot that morning and it
Yeah, it
was
was
humid.
probably 85, 85, 85,
Yeah,
85 degrees, 85% humidity.
yeah, it was a wet heat that day. Um,
I wish it was 120 and dry, but
yeah, it would have been so much better. So Vinny is just stands there in the living room. His shirt is two-toned and he's still shit-faced and is fuming. And he didn't really say words. He was just,
No,
well,
he
he
was
didn't
going
he
on.
didn't make thoughts. He said words, but he didn't make thoughts.
It
He
was
was like,
almost like the episode of Always Sunny when Dennis went to, or when Dennis had the concussion and he was supposed to go to rehab.
oh,
He kept going on and on about whatever.
yeah,
It's like Vinny was just going on and on about Finn Leiter's maps and
yeah.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill him. This fucking kid, he's out. He didn't want to follow me. Fuck him. Like all this lighter, like the word lighter was thrown out there. The word 7-Eleven was thrown out there. Like none of this made any sense at the time. It was just words. And so I looked at him, and he's like hot, and he's like, I feel like I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack. And I go, Vinny, do me a favor, go take a shower, and go to bed, because at this point it's like 9:15. And so he gets in the shower, puts himself to bed, and we're like, all right, whatever. Eventually Finn's gonna kind of like stroll in, and 9:30 rolls, 10 o'clock rolls.
You and I had
Bill,
gone out too.
would you
Like
say?
we had gone. We went.
Oh
to
yeah, me and
Honeydew.
you went out to go get breakfast. We went to Honeydew to get sandwiches, and we're like driving the streets, being like, keep an eye out for Finn because we might find him. Nothing. So we go out, we come back. Bill gets up probably around like what, 10:30.
Nah, dude, we had to leave at 11. Oh, you know what? He got up
because
and
we had
cooked.
to leave by
You're right,
11.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. He got up and cooked those steak tips.
yeah. So 10:30 rolls around, and we're like, all right, well, we got to be out of here by 11 because we got a tea time. Like we got to get to this place. So 11 o'clock hits, we change. We try and get Jones up, and he has no idea. It's his cat's birthday. He has no idea who anybody is or where he is.
It took him. So I went in because I asked you, I'm like, should I even bother? And you were like, I don't know, dude. I don't think he's coming. He was up, whatever. I'm like, all right, well, let me at least ask, because I go, I assume he's not coming either, but let me ask. So it takes me 3 Joneses to get him up. Then he looks at me and says something. I go, what? And then he said something about Matt, and I'm like, what the fuck? I go, what?
Yeah.
Is Matt coming? I go,
you're Matt.
is Matt who? He goes, Fournier. I go, what? And he looks at me again. He goes, I'm retarded and hammered. I'm like, do you want to come play golf? And he like doesn't answer me. I'm like, do you want to golf or do you want to go to bed? He's like, I think I'm gonna go to bed. I go, yeah, that's probably a good call. He's like, I'm sorry. I go, Jones, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
Because truthfully, with the condition he was in the golf course that we played,
yeah, that would not have been well.
He would not have enjoyed himself one bit. There was nothing. There was not going to be one aspect of that time that he would have enjoyed.
Right. So we get things going right at 11 o'clock. We got to be out to get to the tea time. And Bill is like nervous. He's saying like, I don't know what we should do, whatever. So I say, my bright idea is, well, let's go golf. And if Finn isn't back by the time we get back from golfing, we have to call Harwich PD. And we have to inform them that we lost our friend somewhere on the streets of Harwich. And Bill, I don't think he liked that very much. He was like, that's kind of a long time to wait. I was like, well, in my head, I'm like, we're going to be on the golf course. Like, what the fuck are we going to do? But he's a much better person than I am. So we go golf. We get through the round. The course was fine, but it was a lot harder than the one the day before. And I was way more hungover, which is exponentially because I wasn't hungover when we played on Thursday at all. But we're getting ready to leave the course, and we go, oh shit, we should probably like find out if like Finn is back or not.
I think you found out right around the 15th hole. I think Jones sent a
Okay.
Snapchat.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I sent a text to the group, and then Jones sent Snapchat back to the Snapchat group, and Finn was asleep on the couch.
Which is funny though, because we only missed him by 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. He ended up saying he got back around like 11:30, 11:45. So the story of how this went down is you mentioned Always Sunny earlier. Like this was straight out of Always Sunny. So Finn tells us the story of his morning. They split because Finn still wanted a lighter, or he wanted a drink after something, the lighter, and Vinny was pissed. So
I think they needed a lighter. That's why
they left. But
now, whether they actually needed the lighter or not, different story. But the reason they went was because they decided they needed a lighter.
Yes. So the split happens. Vinny leaves. Finn says, whatever, I'm going to stay out here.
No.
Finn decides.
It's actually a little bit better than that. They get to 7-Eleven, and I think they get the lighter, maybe like a drink. I don't know, maybe not. But they start not fist fighting, but arguing because Finn wants a map.
Right.
Because he doesn't think that Vinny can get them home. And Vinny's confident that he can get them home. So they're fighting in the 7-Eleven, in or around the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Regarding
a map.
Basically a map.
Yeah.
And they're both hammered, sleep deprived, and sweating their asses off.
Yes.
So Vinny gets pissed and just says, fuck this, I'm leaving. And then
Finn continues the search for a map. So he's walking around the streets of Harwich trying to find a map. He can't find one. The way he describes it is at one point he was like walking by someone to like ask them like where he was going. And the people on the street were like, whoa, I don't have any money. And he's just like, no, I don't want money.
I can't help you.
I'm not homeless. I'm just lost.
I'm not homeless. I just can't find where I
live. So there's like people that are being like super standoffish. He thinks that he sees the house. So in his brain, it's a good idea to start climbing under bushes to get to the house instead of, I don't know, walking on the street around, taking the street way. So he's telling this story. He's climbing under people's bushes, like running through people's yards. And like, he realizes that it's not the house, that it's not our house. So he also says that at some point along this way, he cut himself. So now he's covered in blood and dirt and sweat, walking around Harwich, still trying to find the map because he realized the house he tried to get to was not our house. And he finally finds this like random like beach store that sells maps. So then he describes it as like he's got to be on TikTok somewhere, because he was sitting on the side of the road on a rock with a big giant paper map open, smoking a cigarette.
I also like the fact that you just glossed over that he actually found a paper map of the cave.
Yeah. It took him a couple tries too. He went into a couple different stores, and
he was walking all the way up and down. He said he went from Harwich to Dennisport, which is right next to each other. Like, honestly, we were on the line.
Yeah.
So it's not that far. But then to like Dennis Square and then like back.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking walking.
Yeah. So he gets the map. He sits down. He tries to read the map, but he can't remember the name of the street that we were on. And then he finally figures it out looking at the map, like where the street is. And then he like figures out like how to go and all this shit.
Remember, he couldn't figure out how. So he used the map to find the street.
Yeah.
But he couldn't quite follow the map.
Because he didn't know where he was.
Because it's 2021, and he goes, I've never really followed a map. So never mind. The whole problem here was he decided that he needed a map to get home.
Yeah.
Then he kind of fought with them, and then he finally gets the map, and all he can use it for is to find the street name. He couldn't
Yes.
follow the map.
Which
So,
also, by the way, we left out. Neither of them had their phones. They
oh yeah.
decided it would be good to go to the 7-Eleven and leave their phones behind.
Well, yeah, his phone was dead, so he'll just plug it in, and by the time he came back, it'd be charged.
Yeah, yeah. By the time he came back, it was overflowing.
It was the landscaper
Yeah,
that got them home,
yeah.
because that's who got Vinny home.
They
So
talked to
Vinny
the
found a
same guy on the street.
Yeah, Vinny found a landscaper. The
Yeah.
landscaper threw it in his GPS, sent him on his way, and that's how Vinny got home. And then 2.5 hours later, Finn found the same guy.
Yeah.
And
So
that's who
there
sent
we
the
were
lead
on
up.
Ostable Road, but because Finn's an idiot, he was like, I don't know, I think it's like Auschwitz. And Vinny also did the same thing. They were like, I'm looking for Auschwitz Road
Auschwitz or Ossipee.
or Ossipee. It's like, no, it's Ostable. So Finn he finds out, he eventually makes his way home. So then he's telling us this story, and we're all like, okay, whatever. So he's like, no, seriously. So he goes into his room and walks out carrying the map. So we're like, all right, well, that story checks out. And then he goes, yeah, well, hold on. And he goes and gets his shorts that he was wearing and pulls them out, covered in dirt and blood. And we're like, this fucking kid, man. Like, I thought, like, hearing him tell the story, I thought it was, a little bit embellished of him, like, crawling under bushes and fucking people going up to someone in their driveway and then being like, hold on, stay right there, buddy. Like, but no, everything in his story checked out. And I was like, this is literally exactly how it happened. And I go, that is straight out of an episode of Always Sunny.
Yeah, it's just like the story of the Force. It's true, all of it.
Yeah. So we came really close to having to call Harwich Police Department and be like, hey, we lost our friend. How old is he? Yeah, he's 31.
Yeah, how is that conversation gonna go? It's like, oh, could you describe him? Yeah, he's tall, blondish. He's like a quarter Japanese, so it's like he looks a little bit Asian, but he's not like super Asian. So that's gonna be like this is like this was the other thing too, was if we had to start calling and Bill was gonna ask me to call, I'm like, yeah, I'll call, but just so you know, this is kind of how it goes. I literally would have called and been like, hey, we're down here for the weekend. One of our buddies, kind of wandered off, doesn't have his phone, doesn't really know where we are. Like, we don't know where he is.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, could you describe him? Like, here we go. I'm like, he probably smells like smoke, dirt, sweat. Again, he's probably about 5'10", blonde hair. Again, he's a little Asian, so you can definitely see it. Like, if you look at him, like, you might not think it right away, but like, definitely tell it's in there. I mean, it's only a quarter, but I guess if it's appearance, it might be like 3/8 to a half. I don't really know. Like, that's how it would have been if I had to call.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's probably, and I go, and if you do find him, he probably won't shut the fuck up, so that might get annoying.
Yeah, by the way, he's probably shit-faced and he hasn't slept in 36 hours. So, keep that in mind.
I figured that wouldn't be relevant to the search. Like, if they were like, hey, how did he leave? Sir, how's this relevant to finding him?
Yeah.
Because he drank all night and decided to leave at 7.
Yeah. But he came back. He's alive.
Still no arrests, still no hospitalizations.
Yeah. Although, like I said, that was the closest we've ever come. Yeah. Outside of the casual Saturday morning, like, panic attack, like, that's the closest we've come to like someone actually like being gone.
So should we recap the Bass River round? Should we do
that? Yeah, sure. Okay. While we're on it.
So
I know you're super excited about it.
Yep. So we decide. So when we do the guys trip, we usually play Thursday morning. This year we decided we were playing Thursday morning. We were playing Friday morning. So myself as a 3.5 handicap playing with you guys, where I know your little app thing says you're an 18. If I had to guess, I'd probably say that playing, like if you mixed in like legitimate rounds and like whatever, it'd probably be like a 25.
Yeah.
And you're the A player at 25. And he probably plays 6 times a year, and Jones has probably played 4 times in his life. But this is what we're working with. So, and I had thought this beforehand, and I'm like, well, what they should do is we should do a 3-man scramble, you guys against me, which does a couple things. One, it takes all the stress off any one person needing to play their own ball.
Right.
Plus, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I don't know if you can beat me. I don't know if it's going to be close. I genuinely don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you guys could kill me and I could kill you. I really have no idea how this is going to go. So if it sucks, we never play it again. So if anyone doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, the way it goes on the first tee is Mello, Vinny, Jones all hit their tee shot. I'm just playing golf. I'm playing my own.
Yep.
Those 3 all tee off, and then they were all going to take the best ball, the best shot, and then they were all going to hit from that same spot, and they just repeat that all the way through. So if one person hits the fairway, one person hits the rough, and one person tops the ball, well, then you just decide, do you want the shot in the rough or do you want the shot in the fairway? And you just kind of play golf that whole way.
Right.
So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, they're going to have some good shots. They're going to have some lucky shots, but I've seen these guys play. All 3 of them could be in the woods, like on multiple holes. Like it's
Right.
very possible. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And did you tee off first or did Vinny? I think Vinny did.
Yeah. I think I was the last one. No, Jones.
I don't know.
How many
You know
of
what?
the 3 of
I
us?
may have made him tee off second. That way he's not the first guy, but he's also not the last guy.
Yeah.
So they both hit, mixed results. Vinny's ball would have been playable. It would have been fine because he bashed it off a tree, but whatever. So the green's only 245, and you step up with driver, and you hit it over the bunker that I'm looking at, driving it right below. And
Yep.
I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. So I grab a hybrid, try to hit it as hard as I can. Get up there, I get to my ball, and I see that you're about 12 fucking feet from the cup.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, cool. So we've started this
the
3-man scramble that I have no idea how this is going to go. You just drove the first green.
Yep.
And I'm kind of like hitting a chip punch thing underneath a tree, but I'm only 50 yards away, whatever. So that doesn't get to the green. I chip on. I got like 6 feet for par. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, well, again, so Jones has not putted the ball. Vinny has not putted the ball. That leaves you. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what happens. Cause I'm like, you know what? They're probably making par. If I hit my putt, I make par, we get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're probably making birdie. I'll try to make par. And if they somehow 3-jack this thing, we're off.
Right.
And wouldn't you know it, Jones buries the fucking putt.
Yep. Steps up
He has
first
not
putt.
putted the ball on a golf course in at least 2 years. And even then, I don't even think he remembers putting a golf ball in that golf course.
Buries a 12-footer for eagle on the first
So
hole.
you guys make eagle on the first. Great. Here we go. So then the second hole, I think you guys had 2 balls in play, but one was better than the other. So you play the 1 ball and it goes very, very mediocre.
Yeah. I think we played Vinny's ball.
So, and this is how I thought this was going to kind of go. So it was like you guys were all short. So you take the chip, and then the best ball is bladed over the green. So I'm like, all right, here we go. So what do? Naturally, 3-putt from fucking, I mean, it was like 40 something feet, but I 3-putt. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I needed. I could have fucking just equalized everything, but no. So third hole. We're up.
So we made double, right? Dude,
you guys went eagle
double to open up. So we're like, we still have no idea how this is going to go.
And we're sitting there and you're like, are we playing? I think I might ask you, like, what do you think, match or stroke? And you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know either. So just keep stroking. If we have to adjust it, we will.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing is I didn't know if high numbers were going to just keep coming.
Right.
Because if you kept making high numbers, we would have had to go match.
Right.
So third hole is a par five. We find you guys' ball 200 to something like that out. What do? Knock it on the green with a hybrid. I'm like, what the fuck? I have never seen. Anyway, I think it was your tee shot. I go, I've
It
never seen this
was.
motherfucker on and two in any par five we've ever played. I've never seen him on and two with any fucking par five. Great. So I'm in the bunker. I make par. You guys just kind of settle it up. Actually, you made a very underwhelming lag putt, but someone hit like a 5-footer
Yeah.
for birdie. I
Yeah.
don't remember who. I'm like, awesome. So they just went eagle, double, birdie.
Still no idea of how everything's going to go.
No clue. So fourth hole, I think you guys won again, but I think it was just with par.
That's also a par. It was back-to-back par fives, right?
Back-to-back par fives. I think
that was the one
you
hit it.
I think I hit it in the
green. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I bogeyed it though because I couldn't get back. Or I probably lipped out a 6-footer because that's what I just did all day.
Yeah.
So the hole after that though is a par 3.
Yeah.
So you guys just went eagle, double, birdie, par. So you guys are 1 under through 4.
Yep.
And I think I'm like 2 over through whatever. So we get to the par 3 and you guys are in absolute fucking jail, like absolute jail.
Yeah. I think we had to go. Did we go with my ball? That was way like in the fucking in a bush.
Regardless, whoever's ball you took, you guys chipped and didn't get it to the green.
No.
So you guys had the 2 chip.
Yep.
And I'm 60 feet from the fringe. So you guys chipped twice, and you guys have a ball from the fringe. Because that's actually the thing is you took 2 chips, still didn't get it to the green. You were chip putting from the fringe.
Right.
And I bury it from 60 feet from the fringe.
Yeah.
So I have my miracle birdie.
Right.
So that brings me back to 1 over. I think you guys double. I think we're tied at this point.
Yes.
So then this is where things just kind of unleashed for me. I absolutely ripped the fucking driver.
Yeah. You got it over the hill, like up over the hill.
Yep. So I absolutely ripped the driver. I've got a wedge in my hand. You guys had like 6 iron in and all of you got like the world's worst bounces. So your best shot is like 50 yards long to the green.
Yeah, because that was my shot. It came down over the back, hit the back of the hill, and then ran on the cart path for like another like 30 yards.
So I hit my wedge, but I only hit it. It's a wedge in my hand. I hit it to like 28 feet. I'm like, that is poor. Like that is really poor. And you guys just binging and bonging all over the fucking place. I don't know. You guys probably made another. You know what? You guys probably made bogey. Just 3 to the front and then get it close. Yeah,
I think we made bogey on that hole.
And what do? 3 putt, missing a 4-footer. I
still had the scorecard, but I think I got rid of it.
I missed I can probably run through most of this. This is so bad. But so I missed a 4-footer on the fucking short side, yanked it, and I'm fucking pissed because this is 2 3-putts in the first few holes, and that 4-footer should have fucking gone in. Whatever. Next hole, another par 5. So we've played 3 par 5s in 4 holes.
Yeah.
6 holes. And I yank it OB. God damn it. So that's another double for me. You guys make par. I don't know where we're at in the match. So we go to the next hole. And you guys are in the fairway. I'm way down there. I have like 50 yards to the pin. None of you get it there. So you guys are chipping at best to a fucked up green. And I fucking bladed over. Fuck me. Horrible lie in the sand. I hit it over the front of the green. I chipped that to an inch. I make bogey, but again, I'm fucking pissed. I had 50 yards.
Yeah.
To the fucking pin. And if I hit it, so I had 50 yards to the pin. If I hit it 45 yards, I'm in fucking perfect shape. But no, I launch it over into a bunker with a horrible lie. Awesome. So we probably have that again. You guys are probably like 2 ahead or something at this point.
And then 8 was the one with the parking lot was on the right. It was just wide open. Like you couldn't fucking
That's
miss
9.
anything. Oh,
Yeah, that's 9. So you have the entire world to hit it again. Oh, you guys get green side in 2 and then chip it to like an inch.
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I could have sworn you guys were making bogey from there. But anyway, so you guys chip it to a fucking inch. I finally get a 2-putt to fall from like, again, 24, 26 feet, something like that. So it's about a 2-shot lead going into the back. So the next hole's a par 3. Again, you guys are in jail to a fucked up green, to a fucked up pin.
Yep.
You make 4, I make 3. It's about probably a 1-shot lead. And then we go into a drivable par 4. And as I have my ball in the ground, I go, the funny thing about a Donald Ross par 4 is that when it's drivable, the green is usually really, really fucked up. So what do? I hit it over to another tee box. So the ball's fucking above my feet. I'm leaning back. And I somehow have to throw this ball. I have to take enough of a swing to get this ball to the green. But I can't blade it because, again, the ball's above my feet. And I can't just like drill it into the hill because it won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I believe it took me 3 shots to get on that green.
And then I was over there with you.
I could have hit 6-iron wedge. And I probably would have hit it to about 14 feet and maybe given myself a chance to maybe hit the putt. Nope. Yeah. I decided to pull driver, hit it way too fucking right, loser. But that being said, I think we halved again because you guys were all over the place, but so was I. So you guys probably just chipped it close and I had to concede it. I was so mad with how many putts I had to fucking give you guys. So then I think we're on 13 now.
Yeah.
12 or 13, doesn't matter. 12. It's 400 yards into the wind. And I smoke my drive. I really fucking do. And I have to hit a 6-iron in. So wind adjusted, that's about 180 out. So it played about 430. That's how I estimated it.
Yeah.
And guess who's on in 2? Again, magically. You fucking idiots. You guys are in 2 from a different fucking fairways rough. I'm like, what the fuck? I think it's the first hole. I think you guys were in the rough on the first hole, and you guys fucking put it on again. Assholes. So whatever. I yank my shot, don't get up and down, make you guys putt out at like a 4-ish footer, and you were the last to go, and you hit it because the first 2 missed. I go, fuck. Whatever. So you guys are still ahead, or actually, you guys are probably 2 ahead at that point.
Then we get to 13.
Yeah, we get to 13. So 13 is dog leg left, plays up the hill a little bit. Wind usually isn't an issue. I think you hit first, and you hit it down. Again, dog leg left, so it's turning left, and you hit it down the left tree line.
Yes.
And the ball did not cut. It just kind of went. And I thought, so I'm like, oh, he just yanked it into the trees. No problem. Jones hits, Vinny hits, and Vinny puts it in the fairway. And you guys are in good shape on Vinny's ball, like you are.
Right.
But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's tough, whatever. I had hit a snap hook, but I was in the fairway because Bass River is the most open place on the planet. So I hit up, and I'm in a bunker. And then you say, oh, I think I'm up there. And I'm like, there's no, you are not up there. You are not, your ball is dead. I saw it go. You hit a pull baby hook on a dog leg left. That is dead. There is no coming back from that. That is in the fucking woods. Play Vinny's fucking ball. Your ball is not up there.
I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure that's a ball.
So this is what I'm thinking in my head. Because I was like, I was worried about hitting my ball. And I think I probably just looked at him like, are you serious? Like, oh, I think my ball's up there. I'm like, you're kidding me. So they're about 50 yards from the green because somehow this pull hooky yank on a dog leg left just kind of skipped forward the whole way, completely cutting off everything, getting all the way through.
Yep. So I think we had 48. I think it was 48 yards into the pin.
Yeah, I think I double Saddam myself on that hole because I hit into a bunker and had a lie that I couldn't get out of. So I went bunker to bunker, came back, and then hit like a 6-footer for 5, even though you guys were already in for 4. So you guys actually probably have a 3-shot lead at this point. So after we go to 13, or after we finish 13, now we have another dog leg left. And I'm fucking unhappy at this point. I'm pissed. So Vinny's dead, Jones is dead. You hit it right on a dog leg left, which really extends the hole. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Neither of you are on the green, and then you hit it on to like 35 feet or something. As I'm dictating what's gonna happen here.
Yep.
So I'm 40 yards from the pin because I said fuck it and just hit it over the dog leg. I just said absolutely fuck it, hit it over the dog leg. I hit to like 14 feet, par. Yeah, I think you guys are like 3 shots or something, or 2 shots. I don't even know. And here comes 15. So Vinny's been doing this thing where he aims left and the ball kind of comes back and hits the center of the fairway. The only problem is it was OB left with all the houses.
Yes,
And
there was a neighborhood.
I saw him setting up, and he was too far left, and
Yep.
you saw it too.
I think you and I looked at each other and just kind of like shook our heads.
And he hit this ball directly into someone's backyard.
Yep.
Like no curve,
like
nothing,
smoked someone's like the vinyl siding on someone's house has a golf ball sized dent in it.
Dent in it, hole in it. Like there's a golf ball in it. It's part of the house now. Part of the crew, part of the ship. So I try to drive the green. You guys are in there, and you guys, all of you, launch it over. I have 25 yards to the pin off my drive. I chip to 7 feet. You guys all hit a chip. None of you get to the green. So you guys are 2 chipping again.
Yeah.
Vinny throws his like way long. I don't think Jones got it. And then what do? You step up, knock it in for par. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. How the fuck did you guys just chip in? I'm like, Mello has so far driven greens, gotten on 2 par 5s and 2, or if it wasn't 2 par 5s, it was that long par 4 and a chip in. All went up, and the fucking pull hook yank.
Yeah.
50 fucking yards. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck do I have to do? And I'm fucking pissed at this point. I'm like, this is exactly what happens when the foreplay pod plays the pros. They get 4 guys, and it's like, of the 3 shots, actually, tee shots, you and Vinny generally were in play. Vinny hit the ball really well, which freed you up to just play, whatever. And you guys didn't really hit any miracle putts either. It's like you weren't knocking any in from like 30 feet. It was nothing like that.
Right.
But it was just like always 1 chip was okay. 1 approach shot was okay. 1 putt was okay. Because you hit another putt on the next hole. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck to get out of this situation. We have like 120 yards or so wind at us. And I'm like, my yardages are pitching wedge is 124 and a choke down 9 irons about 135. Like I know these. Like I know my numbers. I know how this works. So it's about 120. The wind is at us. I've got this thing playing 132 because I actually think it's more, but I'm like, all right, I'll just be short and putt up. I go, it's probably playing closer to 140. And I just carve a fucking 9 iron right through the wind. It was like there was
over the back of the green.
And you guys were short, and I go over, and I'm like, how? So not only did you just chip in on me, you chipped in on me. I lipped out the 7-footer to still make birdie, so I made par. So we have that. And now I just carved a 9 iron through wind. That's not fucking possible. It is not possible to do what I just did, or so I thought.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, I got to chip in now. And because I tried to chip in, I stubbed it in the ground, 2 chip. I ended up making double because I'm fucking. And it was a poor mental strategy there. But I'm also like watching, and you guys chipped it on to like 20 feet, 15 feet, something like that. And it's like miss, and then you roll it in. I'm like, what? You've never hit like this net, like again, now it's another putt that you hit that I've never seen fucking hit. Like, fuck me, man. So we get to 17. It's a par 5. I rip a hybrid down there. I'm like 30 yards and 2. But you guys are on in 3, and you guys are on to about, 12 feet in 3. I'm like, well, that's par. So again, let's try to get outside of your own game. Instead of just doing what you normally do, let's be outside your game because they're pissing you off. And then I stub another chip and I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. I'm going to fucking just throw myself in the Bass River. So we have that. I thought I was down 2 going into it. I don't think I was. So Vinny on the 18th tee, I'm like, I need a miracle here. Seriously, I need a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
So Vinny pulls 4-iron
on like 145
150 yards, and he pulled 4-iron
downhill.
He hits that thing like 200 yards, but he hit it to an uphill, so he probably was 40 yards long of the green.
Yeah.
Jones tops his into a hazard, and you hit yours into the fucking river. I'm like, here we go. All I have to do is hit the fucking green. They will make double because I see where Vinny's ball is. They're going to make double, hit the green, 2 putts. We'll leave here with a tie, and somehow I survived all the bullshit. Nope, yanked the ball right. So I'm pin high, 30 yards right. I'm like, God damn it. So I have to chip, and I'm on the lie's fine. I have to chip over a bunker to a green that's running away from me, which the order of operations goes cart path, bunker, green, pin, green, bunker, river. So This is what I'm looking at. Basically, I have a sandwich. I have a green sandwich sandwiched by shit.
Yes.
But you guys are first to play. And I'm like, all right, well, see how this goes. And it's like, I think, again, the first 2, I think like one's in the bunker, one might be in the fucking river or something. I don't really know. And then the next person goes, I go, that's short. It's in the bunker. Nope. Bounces in the rough, ends up like 25 feet from the pin. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There's no way that they just made that fucking ball get on the green. I go, there's no fucking way. Like, it's not, like, it cannot happen that way. So I got 30 whatever yards. I hit it to like 10 feet, don't hit the 10-footer. At that point, you guys being on the green when you were, that was it. And I'm like, so I lost by 3. I think it was 3.
Yeah, it was 82-79.
Yeah. So obviously, now this is my own assessment of the situation. I did not play my best because I had a lot of wedges in my hand and I didn't hit any of them into my normal proximities.
Yeah.
I was always outside my proximity, or I was hitting it too far, too low, thin, like just not doing what I needed to do. I also got no putts to fall from like the 5 to 10 foot range, which percentage wise it's probably like, I would have expected to maybe make like 2 or 3 and I made none. So great. And then it's like, little mistakes like trying to drive that green when you could have hit 6-iron wedge, and not that like, because you guys are playing a scramble. There's no pressure. It's like,
right.
All I need to do is put a 6-iron in play, put a wedge on the green, and then it wouldn't have changed anyone's thoughts. But in my head, it's like, well, just put the pressure on them, make them make the miracles happen. Just fucking bore them to death with pars. But then I'm like, looking back on it, I go, we started out with Mello driving the first green and Jones hitting the putt. I should have known right away that
what kind of day it was going to be.
This was not going to fucking work for me. It just wasn't. But at the end of the day, it was fun.
It was good. It was a good way to play, and it was close. Like, even though we were making stupid, like, we were, chipping out, or chipping in from off the green,
par 5s and 2.
Yeah, and all that shit. Like, we needed that in order to keep it close and like win. Like, we only, even with all of that, we only won by 3 strokes.
Right.
So we needed that. So if we had gone out and played like if I had played on Thursday how I played on Friday, and
You
you
guys,
played exactly the same, you probably would have beat us by like 4 strokes.
I actually played better on Friday, but
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that was the difference is. But I don't think you would have played as bad as you did Friday if we had the format going.
Yeah.
Because if you guys were playing a 3-man scramble, I don't think you would have gotten into those issues because you don't have to hit the punch outs from the woods. You don't have to hit the like fucked up shots.
Yeah.
And like if you yank a chip towards the trees, you don't have to play that ball.
Right.
That's the difference with
Right.
3-man scramble is you put yourself in way more trouble on your own ball and it's way harder to get out of it. So when you hit a bad shot, you almost don't even notice.
Right.
But it was fun. I gotta
That was a
fucking
good time.
I gotta find a way to fucking get you idiots again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking beat you guys next time. That's what
I'm playing with Vinny on Sunday. We're going to Heather Hill. So I booked it late, and I was talking to Vinny, and I was like, all right, at this point, I think I booked it like Thursday. And I go, it's a holiday weekend. The only places we're going to be able to get a time early on a Sunday morning of a holiday weekend is Ponky or Heather Hill,
yeah,
because they have 36 and 27 holes.
and they have early tee times.
Yeah.
But
So
if you
we
guys
ended up
play the
picking Heather Hill.
if you guys play the whites at Heather Hill though, he'll enjoy himself.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll have a good time. It's going to depend on, I mean, I'll ask when we go there, but it's going to depend on how busy it is. I would rather play middle north with him than do middle south. The south,
the south gets a
little iffy.
Yeah.
But the north is like way the fuck wide open. That's the one. I don't think you've ever played that.
I didn't play the north.
Yeah. But
I
don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see when I get there. Like if the guy's like, no, we're pretty booked. Like you got to go middle south, because I know they typically keep the north for people that are just playing 9. So it depends. Like I think if I'm able to take him middle north, he'll have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be Sunday.
3-man scramble. Yeah. So one day we'll have to get whether it's obviously Jones lives in a fucking different region of the country, which is a problem. So
yeah.
The only thing though is if you guys sub in Bill, I'm actually I'm fixing something because
yeah. Well, it's no more like no bullshit, because so that's the part you left out. When I chipped in from off the green on 15, I had dug the fucking 56 into the ground and barely hit it. And you go, no, pull that ball back and hit it again. So I hit it the second time and it went into the cup. So like if we sub in Bill, like if it's me, Vinny, and Bill, then there's none of that shit. Like if you make a bad shot, you suck and just deal with it.
And the thing with Bill, because we played with him on Friday, and Bill's only played, what was that, like his 4th time in his life?
Probably, 2? Yeah.
So
probably, yeah, second or third.
Bill can reasonably get, he really only hits like 3 or 4 clubs. So the driver is real hit or miss.
Yeah. And when he's on with the driver, though, he hits bombs.
But on the range, when we went to the range, he was hitting about probably 2 1/4, just 80 yards right. So I thought he was hitting it 2 1/4, just aiming fucking in the left woods. And that's not how he played it. So,
right.
But in a scramble, he may find that swing because it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like if he has enough golf balls, he might just say, fuck it, let me let it rip. And now I've got a real problem because if he's going to hit it, up there with you guys, now that's potentially 3 balls that are in play.
Right.
The other thing with Bill is his short game is pretty fucking good. And from 75 in, he's not bad because he hits like a pitching wedge like 80, and then he hits like a sand wedge like 50. So as long as he's like kind of in or around that, he might give you guys a really viable option. And I'm like, God damn it. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't think
But
either of them like are there. I would say they're not super strong with putting though.
no, they're not.
Like they just don't have the nut. Well, this is what you always told me when I first started out is like putting is more of like a feel thing. So if you don't play that much, like you shouldn't expect to be that good at putting.
No, you can't be. Um, unless it well, I guess you could have a natural. I think what happens with amateurs and putting because, and I heard Kisner talking about this on the foreplay pod because he was making fun of Trent. And if you guys aren't familiar with any of them, Trent's goal was to break 100, and they did an 8 episode series. It was actually pretty good on YouTube.
Mhm.
It was good. Like it really was. It was really well done. You were sitting there, you're rooting for the guy. Like it was good. If you need something to watch on YouTube and kill like 8 hours of your time, like that's pretty good. Like it really was. But Kisner was fucking crushing Trent on a podcast like, later because, and Kisner plays on the PGA Tour, is a good putter. He goes, he goes, Trent, I'll teach you how to putt right now. He goes, go get a ball. He goes, golf ball. He goes, I don't give a fuck. Just get any ball. And Trent and Frankie are in the room. They're in the studio. He goes, all right, spread out. He goes, throw the ball to Frankie. He goes, okay. Throws the ball to Frankie, hits him in the hands. He goes, so how the fuck do you have no touch putting? He goes, how the fuck? He goes, you hit putts 20 feet by the cup. Yeah. That's the equivalent of you crow hopping, throwing that ball through the fucking wall over his head. That's the equivalent.
Yeah, yeah.
So what Kiz said is, he goes, and the way he kind of phrased it was, because people try too hard to make putts.
Yeah.
He goes, you're not going to make that many. He goes, so once you accept that you aren't going to make many putts, you can putt better, and you'll actually probably end up hitting more putts. Right. Because a putt that's going to go 20 feet by the pin is not going in.
Whether like anytime, I would say anytime I'm outside of like 10 feet, I use the method. I forget whether it was you or Chris Healy had said it. Like, imagine that the cup is a keg and just put the ball inside the keg. Like, don't try and put the ball in the cup. Just try and get the ball inside of like the size of a keg. So anytime I'm outside of 10 feet, that's what I do. If I'm 10 feet and in, I'm like, let me give it a run. Like I'll actually like line it up and try and actually go for it. But other than that, I'm like, I'm just going to try and get it as close as I can. And then, we'll go from there.
Yeah. Kid who teaches putting down in Florida, or he informally teaches putting, was telling me, because he's a friend of ours, went to the gym, whatever. And he caddied for me one time in some tournament. It was the best I've probably ever putted. Outside of that day, I probably drained fucking 200 feet of putts against you, I think. He told me, he goes, outside of 20 feet, hit the hula hoop, inside of, or from 10 to 20, hit the keg, and then inside of 10, hit the solo cup. That's what's covering the cup.
Right. Yeah.
And that's all it is you're just trying to get the ball within a 3-foot proximity. That's it.
Right.
You're not trying to make it. Do you know statistically what a scratch golfer, what percent that they hit an 8-footer is?
Yeah, isn't it like 50%?
So that's PGA Tour. 8 feet is 50-50.
Yeah.
A scratch golfer hits it like, I'm sorry. I think a scratch, actually, I'll pull it up right now because it's either 6 or 8 feet is 40%. And it might actually be 6 feet.
Yeah.
So when you're talking like expectations of what putts should go in and shouldn't go in.
Yeah.
Like even 4 feet for a scratch golfer is only 80%. Like you would think that's automatic, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
5 feet is 67%. Where is, it's not a putt. Come on, I know I missed a 6-footer yesterday. 8 feet is 40% for a scratch golfer.
Wow.
So even from 8 feet, you probably are not going to make that putt.
Yeah, you're more likely than not going to hit it.
Because if it's 40% for a scratch,
yeah,
take a 16, which A 16 handicap is breaking 90.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's not a bad golfer. If someone can
Right.
break 90, you wouldn't say, like, depending on, like, the setting. I've said some 16s suck, but that's not a bad golfer in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But like, if someone's going to talk to me about how good they are and they tell me they're a 16, no, you suck. Sorry.
Right. Right.
Just don't tell me how good you are if you're 6.
Yeah.
That's the setting. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking sound like I'm fucking holier than thou. I'm not. But if you tell me you're good, but you're a 16, you're not good. Sorry.
Correct.
I'm not good.
Yeah.
I'm 3.5.
Yeah.
So let's temper our expectations here. But if we're going to say, someone who breaks 90 is probably better than the average golfer, I would think, maybe like right real close. Because I don't know. I don't know what an average golfer is, truthfully. I really don't know. But
I think it depends on whether it's like recreational or like, I don't know what you would
I'm
call
talking
me.
average.
Like I probably am, I play a little bit more than like the average recreational person.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what an average person shoots. I have no idea. But
Yeah, I don't know.
again, I would need to go to like Shot Scope and find out like everything, because they have millions of shots in their database.
Yeah.
But if a scratch hits 8-footers at a 40% rate, it's not cut in half because the handicap's half, but 1 in 3
Yeah.
for like a mid to high handicap. That's
Yeah.
8 feet. 8
Yeah.
feet. You're going to miss more likely than you are to hit. So if you have anything more than a fucking kick in, make sure it gets down in 2. That's all I have to like.
Yeah.
That, like, make sure
Yeah.
it's not 3 feet. Like, you do not want a three putt from 8 feet. Give it a good roll. Give it a decent line. Give it a chance to go in. But it's probably not.
Yeah.
Even for me, an 8-footer is more likely to miss than hit.
Right.
If I hit an 8-footer, I've gained strokes on a scratch golfer. Fucking, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I think it's that time. It's about that time. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm just gonna continue the golf trend. So I went down to play Pine Hills yesterday. Went to the Jones course, just played by myself, matched up with random dudes, no problem. So I played the Jones course once, and I played it 2 years ago. I didn't remember all the holes. I don't remember much. I didn't remember a ton. I also know they flipped the 9s, which doesn't matter. It's still the same holes, whatever. But so I go up to the starter, and he's like, "Oh, have you played here before?" I go, "I played the Jones once a couple of years ago. I don't really remember much, but I've been here." And he goes, "Well, do you want the spiel?" I'm like, "You know what, man? Lay it on me. I really don't care. I'm not going anywhere. We're not teeing off yet." He goes, "All right, 10 feet and in, go right at the cup." All right. So that basically what he's telling me is, at Pine Hills, I assume both courses, if you have inside of 10 feet, that putt probably isn't going to break all that much.
Yeah.
Hit it to the center of the cup, it's probably going in. The greens are nice. They're true. They were slow, which is fine, but generally from 10 feet in, they're putting it in there. And it's probably one of those things where the Jones and the Nicholas course of Pine Hills. So yes, there are members, and I think there's a decent amount of members. There's a whole community, and it's a beautiful course, beautiful setup, and I think it's actually reasonably priced. I don't think it's anything crazy. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it might be like $6,000 a year, and $6,000 a year is very, very common for public courses in Massachusetts. So some of you might be looking at it and be like, "That's a shitload of money." It's like, yes, it is. But a lot of public courses, 18 holes, old, new, whatever, they're around $6,000 a year in dues. I don't know what the initiation is. I don't really fucking care. But it's also, quote unquote, New England's premier daily fee facility, whatever. So us idiots can go play, and you get every aspect of a private feel. So it's like you pull up, Or you don't even have to drop your bag. I park first. I carry my bag because I don't like people doing shit for me. But you drop your bag, they put it on a cart for you. They drive the cart over to the range, which is included in your fee. And then I go inside, check in, I walk out the clubhouse, and I'm at the range. So my bag is on a cart and it's right there.
Yeah.
So the carts are super nice. Like everyone's like super helpful. Like no one's really fucking grumpy, whatever. And the conditions are phenomenal. Like it is really phenomenal. But because it's quote unquote New England's premier daily fee facility, whatever, it's not an easy golf course. Like don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but it's not tricked out either. So the fairways, they're wide, they're firm. The ball goes a little bit further off the tee, makes you feel good. It's like, oh, I hit a ball 300 yards on the 12th hole. Yeah, it's firm, plays downhill and downwind. But yeah, you hit it 300, man. Congrats.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like little stuff like that because they say this about resort courses and like resort courses. And I know Pine Hills isn't on the coast, but coastal resort courses like Key Island, they use a type of grass, and the grass actually props the ball up a little bit. And we're talking like micro fucking measurements here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Props the ball up just enough, which makes it easier to hit from the fairway. So it's like you got these big firm fairways, so you hit it far, and then the ball might sit up just a little bit. And greens are big, and yeah, bunkers are hard, and if you miss really badly, it's really bad, but they're not trying to kill you if you play appropriate tees. So if you play too far back, you're going to have a bad time. And if you're all over the place, like if you're punching out of the woods, good fucking luck. Like the woods are so fucking far away from the fucking center of the fairway that you are going to really have a fucking tough time, like really hard. So, so what they do, and all this is just to say, so from a pin perspective, you're not going to see any goofy pins. Wherever they put their pins, because golf courses have pin locations, like real golf courses.
Right.
They have places that they put pins. They have places that they don't put pins. So they're not going to put the pins on the bottom of a fucking ridge. Too goofy.
Right.
So I think what they try to do is they have their flat spots. That's where they put the pins, and they know 10 feet out, it's generally pretty straight. Now, if you're putting from 25 feet, you might see a little break, but you don't see a ton, whatever. So that's why he's telling me 10 feet and in, whatever. Then he starts going on this tangent about the fucking guy that won some tournament there, about the other starter, and then whatever. And then I realized, I'm like, the guy's spiel was putting at the cup from 10 feet in. What spiel is that? Like, what do you, like,
yeah.
I didn't need to, like, you could have not even asked me that. Like, oh, have you played the course before? Like, oh man, no, I haven't. Anything I should know about? Hey, putts from 10 feet and in, don't break. I'm like, dude, I'm asking like logistic questions. Like, is there anything like goofy? Is there anything weird? Is there anything blind? Like when I went to Franklin Park, the guy's like, hey, the 7th hole, it turns down the right side. He goes, so if you can fly at 280, take it over the trees. If you can't, though, you got to go left of the trees and try to bend it or just take it straight. I'm like, all right, man. I mean, thanks for the quick strategy tip. You just want to hear yourself talk because I can see that.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. You know what? You feel good. You help me out. It's like fine because then I roped a 4-iron right around those trees and probably didn't get the ball to green because I'm fucking there. And I'm just like, it's just funny because like, we're on one of the holes. I go, did you guys listen to the guy's spiel? They're like, nah, just whatever. And I'm like, because the guy's like, oh, have you played here before? I'm like, nah, man, you tell me what I need to know. And all he said was, oh, 10 feet in, go right at the cup. And then he started talking about some kind of fucking nonsense. Like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Like,
what kind of spiel is that?
Spiel is that? Like, usually it's like, okay, in the fairway, in the fairway, replace divots or don't. I don't know what they do there because they don't give you the powder to fix divot. Whatever. Hey, fix your ball marks. When the group ahead of you, whatever shit there is. Nope, just from 10 feet and in, just go right at the cup. But I'd also like to say he was absolutely correct. Nothing broke inside of 10 feet.
Yeah. I want to get over there someday. Someday I'll play.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was looking at the scorecard. There's because again, there's a little bit of a length thing, but it's wide open, like
Yeah. How long
wide.
is it?
So
Do you remember?
I played the Blues from 6,700 yesterday. I
Yeah.
think the next, so the whites I think is 62,
Okay.
but they have a silver that's like 57.
Yeah.
But the only thing
I
I don't
mean,
know,
that sounds like I think when I played Triggs, I think Triggs was 62 or 61.
well, we played, so Bass River was like 57, 58, and then we played Dennis Highlands at 6,000.
Yeah.
And the Highlands felt way harder.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the Jones course is, again, this place is designed to be, because they built it, it's a newer course, they built it. There's a hole, and then you typically have to drive a little bit to the next hole, and there's very few crossovers. There's only crossovers near the clubhouse. Once you're out, it's a friggin' phenomenal like landscape. It's like how much fucking land did it
Yeah.
take to do this?
Yeah.
Because the fairways are huge. There's a lot of room. Like the tips got back to like 7,200. Like if you
Wow.
needed to like really play some length, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like they're still building houses and still doing this and still doing that. It's like fucking hey, what they say about Plymouth is the biggest town in Massachusetts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Area wise.
Fuck, there's a lot of land down
Yeah.
there. No, it's good. So it's expensive. You pay for it, and I've played some good courses this year, and I really have, not just like I've played some nice places. So I thought I was gonna go to the Jones and feel like it kind of diminished a little bit of the appeal because I've played some like really nice places, and
Yeah.
I don't think it took away one bit.
Hmm.
Um, I think the Jones specifically is legit. I think um, there's a lot more going on than I thought because when I played the Bay Club in Mattapoisett, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Pine Hills, like big gargantuan holes. We have to drive all over the place to get around it, whatever. There's a lot more going on at the Jones course than there is at the Bay Club. The Bay Club just feels flat and long, and then like, yeah, a couple elevation changes, sure, but like just seems fucking long and boring. And the
Yeah.
Jones course doesn't have that same feel. And just to be a fucking geek about it, a couple times on the green, I would look back and I'm just like, wow, this is like really fucking well done, like
Yeah.
really well done. So
So I just Googled it. The largest cities in Massachusetts by area. It is Plymouth. It's 134 square miles. For reference, the entire island of Nantucket is 105.3 square miles. So the city of Plymouth is larger than the entire island of Nantucket. So there you go. And then the city of Boston, like Boston proper, is like 90 square miles. So it's Plymouth is pretty fucking big.
yeah, they've got a lot of land down there. So
Yeah.
and honestly, every golf course I've played down there, I haven't played Atlantic. I haven't. The Squirrel Run's a par three. I don't count that. So I haven't played Atlantic. I don't know if Southern Marsh is in Plymouth or Marshfield. I kind of forget.
Yeah.
So if it is, I haven't played that. But every golf course down there is phenomenal. They're all kind of like similar, like Crosswinds, Waverly, Jones. That like they're courses you ride. They're kind of like holes alone, big wide fairways. Oh, I also haven't played Old Sandwich, but like that doesn't fucking count because that's a
Yeah.
fucking super expensive place. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, the what we actually, if we got some people that were willing to pay for it, because it's if you go weekend like Friday through Sunday, it's $140 unless you play in the afternoon. But
Yeah.
if we got people that wanted to play, the Nicholas course is easier than the Jones, and I don't know what the yardages are on the Nicholas, but just go over there.
Yeah. That wouldn't be bad. All right. So my final thought is so the other day I went to this like little food market place, and this is just about how stupid people are and how stupid young people are now. And again, anytime I can throw shade at the education system, I won't pass that opportunity up. So I'm at the register and I'm ringing up stuff, whatever. And I think it was the total, the total was like $20.02. Now I'm gonna pay cash, but all I have on me at the time is 20s. So the girl at the register is probably like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. So she rings it through again, $20.02. And I just kind of look at her and I'm like, yeah, this really sucks. I only have 20s. And she goes, you don't have the 2 cents? And I go, no, I don't have the 2 cents. And now I'm not going to be the person that's like, come on, you can give me the 2 cents, right? Like, I'm not going to ask for it. But she also was like, it's 2 cents. So whatever. If you're going to fucking dick me around over 2 cents, you're going to have to now give me $19.98 back because fuck you. So I go through and I hand her the 220s. And as I'm doing that, there was an older woman behind me that was like, oh, don't worry. She's probably like, I don't know, mid to late 60s. And she goes, oh, don't worry. I have 2 pennies. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. Cool. But now, like, I had handed the girl the 220s. So I'm like, all right, well, just, give me one of those 20s back and we'll call it a fucking day. Well, she takes the 220s. She gets the 2 pennies from the old lady. She looks, she hits the register. The register opens. She puts the money in the register and she proceeds to pull out $19.98. And then she takes the 2 pennies from the lady and gives that to me. And I'm like, you couldn't have just handed me the $20 bill back that I gave you? And the old lady, like the lady behind me was like laughing and she goes, why? So you're not going to get the thing? Or she said like, oh, you're still going to get the change anyway or something. Like she made a comment like, what the fuck are you doing? Like this girl probably has never seen cash before and like had no idea how to fucking count because it's 2021. Everyone pays with cards and shit. So like I probably like threw her way the fuck. She probably hadn't seen cash since she started working there. And now she's like, I don't know. So she hands me like a 10, a 5, 4 ones, and a change with a dollar, like starting with 98 cents, and then the 2 pennies. And I'm just like, what in the fuck is going on? And I think I made a comment like, okay, we're doing this way anyway, huh? And like, I don't think she picked up on it. And I'm like, what, what, what is going on? So then I look, she ended up giving me $20 plus the 2 cents from the lady. So I made 2 cents on the transaction. But my God, how fucking stupid can you be? Like, is that what we're really coming to? That like a 16-year-old doesn't know how to make change? Because they taught me that in like what, 4th grade? When did they teach you that?
I don't know, dude.
Like that's how you learn numbers. Like it's part of like learning numbers in math. Like early on learning math, they use money because it's easy because everything's in 5s and 10s and 1s. Like I was blown away. Like the whole transaction, like I said, the old lady behind me was fucking blown away. I made a fucking snide comment because I'm a dick and it just went right over her head. And like, I took it and I turned around, and I looked at the old lady and I go, thanks anyway. I really appreciate it. And then I just walked out and I left and I go, what the fuck? Like seriously though, how fucking stupid. And I know you say it all the time that like kids are really fucking dumb, but my God, kids are really fucking dumb. Like you don't know how to make change. Like you had no idea what you were doing. And now it could have been her first day. It could, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But at the same time, like you still should know how to make change with money.
So here's another thing. 2 pennies is easy. It really is.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I was at Stop and Shop, people would give me like fucked up numbers worth. And like say the total came to 35-13, and then someone sits there and hands me 45-25 or something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
But there was also times where if something was $20.02, well, I guess my drawer is going to be short 2 cents. I'm not fucking counting out 98.
Right. Right.
Especially because well, actually, if this is a smaller place, I don't know how they do it. I assume it's the same way. Stop and Shop balances their registers by weight. So there's a money scale.
Okay.
There's a money scale that weighs the bills, weighs the change. But change is funny because you have like a cup and the cup is in there and whatever, and balance and all that shit. And then just as our professor taught us, anything that has ever been measured ever has a percent error.
Right.
So depending on how the percent works, it's going to be off. Like no drawer ever with balancing by weight, no drawer ever was 0 all the way. Never, 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 ever, never. I never counted one drawer in 5 years that when measured by weight was exactly 0 all the way across. It did not happen.
Right.
So the way I used to see it was, if it's going to be off anyway, let me save the customer the hassle. I actually thought about the fucking cut. That's what I thought about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go, let me save them the hassle of me handing them 98 cents. Cause I can sit here and count fucking coins all day. I don't give a fuck. I'm here until 8. Like,
yeah.
don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I can waste my time, but like all I'm doing is wasting my time here. So why not waste it some more? But I'm like, I'm not giving this person 98 cents. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously yours was an easy one. She just fucked it up. She obviously just doesn't know. But it's funny because some people, that's actually a way that, again, it's not 2 cents, but like the change thing.
Yeah.
That's how people fucking rip off young kids, because they'll say something comes out to like 60, whatever. They'll give the person like 100. They're like, oh no, wait, let me take the 100 back. And then they give them like 60 and go, oh shit. You give me the 20 and I'll give you the 100 again. And then and like they just kind of start flipping money like that.
Right.
Do it after like I forget, because someone tried doing it with me. I forget, I've been doing this for years. Someone tried doing it with me. So what ends up happening is they give me a sum of money, I ring it through, end the sale, drawer opens, and then they start doing it. Because if they do it too early, then I can just like keep all the money here, and I'd be like, all right, here's it all back.
Right.
Let me know what you want to do.
Right.
But what ends up happening, they try to do it like that. Like the drawer's already open, the sale's already over, so they can't use the calculator in the register to confirm or deny what they're doing.
Right.
So it'll be like they're about to hand you, say like I'm about to hand back 25 and change. And they're like, oh, if I give you 4 20s, will you give me 100 or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's like they give it to you, and then it's like, oh wait, no. But then it's like, let me give you a 5 for the 10, and like they just keep trying to spin money around.
Right.
Getting confused and whatever. So I used to just look at the people like, dude, I'm too stupid to do that in my head. So if you would like, I'm going to give you your change. And then any additional change that you want to do, I'll do.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, you know what? No, that's okay. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, because I know exactly what you're doing.
And then the other people were like, oh, I gave you a 20. I'm like, hey, man, you know, I had you for a 10. No, it was a 20. I go, man, I kind of thought it was a 10. Because there were sometimes I fucked up, yeah, but
People would do that to me at the liquor store all the time. Like they'd come in and pay with something and they'd give me a 10. So we had like the buttons on the register. It was like the quick button, like to hit 5, 10, 20, like the dollar bill sign. So I'd like hit the $10 button and the register would open. It would tell me the change and I'd give them the change and be like, I gave you a 20. I'm like, no, you gave me a 10. Like, no. I handed you a 20. I go, so sometimes depending on who it was and how much of a fucking dick face they were being, I'd be like, well, if you have the time, I'll go in the back room and I'll check the tapes and I'll just pull the camera roll and then we'll see what you actually did. And then if I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to give you the money back. And normally when I said that, they were like, nah, forget it. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, because you gave me a fucking 10, you piece of shit.
And then, so what I used to do was, if someone gave me 10, whatever, and I would just be like, oh man, shit, that's my fault. I go, the only problem is though, is I don't remember you giving me a 20. So what we would have to do is, I got to take your number down. And what has to happen, I go, I'm not done until 8. So at 8 o'clock, they'll balance my drawer, but I won't be here. So what'll have to happen is we got to balance the drawer. We'll determine whether or not it's $10 over. Because if you gave me the wrong change, it should be 10 over. And then if it's 10 over, I'll give you a call and you can come get it back Tuesday when I work again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, maybe I had a mistake. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
I go, yeah, and my drawer hasn't been off in 5 years, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, people do stupid shit like that all the time. But for fucking 2 pennies, like she really like it was I left there being like, my God, people are so fucking stupid. These dumbass kids don't know money anymore.
They don't know shit.
No, they don't know anything.
You should see them try to do weight room math. It's horrible.
Yeah. And that's easy because the numbers never change.
And all it is
the numbers
addition.
Don't change in the weight room.
It's just addition too. You don't have to subtract. Sure, you have denominations, but
yeah.
How do I get 70K on the bar? How much is the bar weigh? 20. Okay, so how do we get 70? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, me neither.
Yeah.
Kids like actually like get apprehensive to ask me questions like that because they know I'm gonna fucking make them. And all I say is I'm just gonna make you work for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make you work for it because they just don't want to pay attention. That's all it is. They just want to do whatever. Like kid asked me, what's SADB row? I go, all right, so I know it's acronyms, but this is your second weight card. So you've done. I go, you've done this exercise 6 times before today. So take a guess. Tell me what it is. I don't know. I go, that's not a guess.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you what it is, but you have to tell me what you think it is.
Right. You have to give some sort of effort.
I go, what's DB? They're like dumbbell. I go, okay, so now we've just narrowed out, like we've narrowed the room down to just a couple things here.
Right.
But that's all it is. They just don't want to work. It's just, hey,
solve it. Just lazy. It fucking drives me nuts. Like laziness.
Yeah, no one wants to figure anything out on their own. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, just do this for me. Yeah, you just do this for me.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah. No, fuck you. Figure it out.
Dickheads.
Idiot kids. All right, well, that is going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, welcome back. You know, we're sorry again. It's our first show back in a week and a half. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. The hot wings challenge was a big hit. We've gotten, I think, almost 30 views already on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. It's like the most, that might be one of our highest, if not the highest watched video we've ever put out there. So I don't know, maybe we try and find other stupid things like that to do. I'm not doing another hot wings challenge, but maybe we do something else that's stupid. So subscribe also if you're on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Make sure that if you use Apple Podcasts, you go to the iTunes store, give us 5 stars, leave us a review over there. And while you're at it, you're going to want to go to grillyourassoff.com to season your wings. Hopefully you're not using hot sauce like the bomb or the hottest fucking sauce or any of those ones that sucked, the Magnum 357. Don't use those sauces. Use Grill Your Ass Off seasonings instead. They're the best. They have like a million different seasonings. They're running a sale right now, actually. It's a Labor Day sale. So normally you get 16 ounces of a seasoning for, I believe it's $12.99. And this weekend you can get them for $10.99. So you can also use our promo code Sarcasm Pod and get another 15% off. So you can get like a pound of seasoning for like $8-9. So you can't beat it. They got all kinds of great t-shirts over there. Some of them are pretty funny. They got mugs, hats. I almost bought a hat from them the other day. That's Steak and Whiskey 2024, like one of those presidential ones. So go check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com.
Give me a quick answer. What's better, steak and whiskey or beer and bacon?
Steak and whiskey. Steak and whiskey.
I agree.
Yeah. Because that's their other one. They also have a beer and bacon 24 hat too. I think they have shirts too. So again, grillyourassoff.com, promo code sarcasmpod, gets you 15% off your entire order. Also, if we're back to football season, well, we're going to be back. By the time this comes out, we'll be through week 1 of college football. Because when we were away, it was week 0 of the college football season, which is fucking stupid.
That's a joke, by the way.
But we'll be through week 1 of college football. And I guess right when this comes out on Monday, we will be rolling into week 1 of the NFL season. So it's prime betting season. So you're going to want to go to mybookie.com, use our promo code SarcasmPod. Again, same promo code across the board. SarcasmPod. MyBookie will double your first deposit up to $1,000 and toss in a $20 free play in there. So that's and Sarcasm Pod.
You can put a $25 wager. So you have to have the money in your account, but you can put a $25 wager on the Thursday night game, Bucks Cowboys.
Yep.
That either team will score.
So you have plenty of time. This comes out on Monday morning. So that Thursday night game, Bucks Cowboys, like you just said, there's a lock of the, it's called the lock of the season. You can put up to $25 on will either team score. So as long as it doesn't end in a 0-0 tie,
0-0
you will get free money. It's Liberty. You're betting Liberty.
Did you see me retweet something? It was like some guy was going on and on about like block of the century, free money, whatever.
Yeah.
On Sarcasm Speaks.
Yeah. So again, promo code SarcasmPod at mybookie.com gets you double your first deposit up to $1,000. Speaking of the Sarcasm Speaks social media, you can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. You can find us on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. And the Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, it's good to be back, but good night.